Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Threadbanger.
This week we're headed over to the Parachute Studios in Brooklyn to hang with the kids behind Ruffeo Hearts Lil Snotty. Check it out! Brooklyn in the house! That's right.
Hey Rob, welcome to Parachute. Hey, what's up? We're Ruffeo Hearts Lil Snotty, and we're chilling here in Red Hook at Parachute. Parachute's a collective of a lot of different mediums of artists, many different ideas coming together. This is where Cubist literature gets down.
My name is Craig Hunter, and I run Cubist Literature. Cubist Literature right now is all about silkscreen t-shirts, but it began as a music project, and I do sewing, knitting, photography, everything.
This is Desiree Pesta's zone. This is the fabulous Junk Prince by Chanel.
Heya.
Right over here is where RHLS gets down.
This episode of Threadbanger is brought to you by Cotton's new online exclusive fashion show, Inseam.
We started out in Olympia, Washington. Sarah and I met, and she wanted to know what the R in my first name stands for, which none of you will ever find out. And she was guessing all these names, and one of the names was Ruffeo. And I was like, you're right, that's my name. And she had lots of excess mucus from being in Houston, so I nicknamed her Lil Snotty. We kind of like left each other anonymous love letters and messages on the answering machine because I was living with her ex-boyfriend. I was doing some rap shows, like I was mixing puppetry and speed rap, and I took a costume making class because I wanted to make a unicorn costume for this love story between unicorn falls in love with a vacuum cleaner and then gives birth to a shop vac. It was this sweet scene, so I had to make a unicorn costume with an orifice to birth a vacuum cleaner, and that kind of sparked like my sewing. My teacher was like, whoa, you can really sew a straight line, maybe this is your gift. And I was like, well, I'm having a lot of fun. And we started to make merchandise, and that was selling better than my CDs, and we were broke and hungry, so we joined the Olympia clothing project, and it just kind of took off real quick.
For us, upcycling and getting fabrics from the thrift stores was never really a question of whether we were going to do it that way or not. We started that way from the beginning. I think because that was what we had around. We couldn't afford to buy fabric.
Taking apart these clothes sort of informed our aesthetic, and like we learned a lot about pattern making just from like seam ripping a sleeve off. Every day we get inspired, get motivated with a little dance. So we'd like to teach you guys as our first tutorial how to do our motivational dance.
The first step is going to youtube.com and searching for a crazy preacher lady. It's the first thing that comes up.
So it's actually not that complicated. It's just a little bit of this, and then when the hook comes, you go like this. And then work into it, spin. Today, we're going to teach you guys how to make some underwear. We do this every single day. We come in here, we do our motivational dance, and then we're like, yo, we haven't done laundry in like 2 months. Let's make another pair of underwear today.
We usually start this process with Maxwell drawing out a design because I can't draw, so he does it.
Your material is pretty much t-shirt. You can use the same sleeves on your shirt, but I wanted to spruce it up with a little bit of color, so we just grabbed some extra t-shirt sleeves we had around and some sort of elastic. I'm just gonna cut it open so that I can kind of center up the pattern over this area. These are for Rob, so let's just bust out our measuring tape. I know how much this is, but I'm not gonna tell because maybe Rob is self-conscious. He's a pretty trim man though, really. You want your underwear to fit pretty tight because cotton has a way of stretching out. So take off about 3 or 4 inches. Take your measurement. Once you've gone around your waist, you're just gonna fold the measuring tape in half. Sometimes we like to use a little bit of chalk to mark out the pattern just so we make sure we don't do any sporadic cuts. So the only difference in underwear, the front has a little bit of an arc, the back is kind of just a straight line when you're doing your leg hole. You need a little bit of extension down here to wrap between the legs. And then on the front, you do a little bit of an arc. To get the nicest symmetrical shape, you're just gonna fold your fabric in half. You can use your handy rotary knife or some fabric scissors. Just follow the white lines. Here you have your back, here you have your front. Boom, ba-boom. Kind of lay it out, the smaller side of the t-shirt seam on the inside. Take your scissors, cut down the middle, or you can seam rip. Go ahead and do the waistband. Maybe mark it with a pin or a little piece of chalk, or if you roll like me, just hold it with your fingers. Save the spot. Elastic's nice and forgiving. And make your cut. Now we're ready to sew. I like to save myself a little bit of time by sewing up the sides first and then leaving the middle for last. The idea here to make your underwear roll real fast is that you've made a loop. There's the back, there's the front, and you've got like this open area. So I'm gonna lay my undies down like this. So you're just gonna lay it down towards the middle. You have half a leg. Waistband time, waistband time. I'm taking the side that I think is gonna feel better on the body and making it the inside. Then I'm just gonna stitch it back and forth right here. Take your undies, turn them right side out. It really doesn't matter where you put your waistband, but I always like to line up the seam because it looks pro. You just kind of stretch it out, see where we're at. Pin the side. I'm just gonna straight stitch this. I don't think it's necessary to serge. So if this is your first time sewing waistband material, you're gonna kind of need to just like check every once in a while, stretch it so that it's all the same level. Okay, let's clip off the little threads and see what we've made. This is kind of my favorite part, putting the candles on the cake. Ladies and gentlemen, freestyle rappers, interpretational dancers, you've just made your first pair of boxer briefs, short shorts, cute ass undies. I don't know. DIY or die. Boy shorts. Oh my god.
DIY or die.
DIY or die. If you guys end up making your own undies, shoot us an email. I'd love to see them at Ruffeo Hearts Lil Snotty at gmail.com.
Thanks for hanging out with Ruffeo Hearts Lil Snotty today.
You guys rule. If you want to see more, we got rhls.com. Word. Cut that.
That's it for this week. Next week, we take a journey into the wonderful world of quilting.
Hey, it's not just for your granny anymore.
I guess not.
See you then.